to begin with some basic motion technique, and we're going to go over a couple motion drills. The first thing we're going to talk about is your fist and your wrist. When you're making a motion, you want to make sure you make a good fist. You're going to curl your fingers under first and wrap your thumb over that. Notice the big part of her hand, her thumb forward, is going to be there for most of your motions. The other thing you want to notice about is her wrist. Notice how to go straight across her arms. You want to make sure your wrists don't curl up or curl back down. When she makes a motion and she shoots it out, it should be just like a line going straight off her arm, straight off all the way to the wall. Another important aspect of doing motion is make sure you keep your arms in front of you. When you do a motion, you want to make sure when you hit your motion that your arms stay in front of you. A good way to test this is by looking straight forward. You should be able to see both your hands. We're going to go over a few basic motions and a good proper placement for these motions. The first one we're going to start off with is going to be a punch. A very simple motion, but what you want to make sure is that this arm is straight up and down. Notice this is one of the few motions where the other side of your hand is going to be facing forward. You want to keep your arm right here by your ear. Now, one thing people have a tendency to do is put their arm out here and then lean your head to your arm. You want to just keep your arm straight up and keep your head straight up and down. Next motion we're going to go over is a high V. With the high V, you notice she makes a good angle. The angle's the same with both arms. Her wrist goes straight across and her shoulders are relaxed. For the low V, it's going to be the exact same motion, but it's going to be straight down. Again, she's got the same angles in front of her, shoulders relaxed, wrist going straight off her sides, and her arms are a little bit in front of her, just like we talked about earlier. Next motion is a T motion. Again, relaxed shoulders, straight across your body. This is a motion where you really got to watch the levels. People have a tendency to go sometimes too high and too low. So you want to make sure this is one motion that's really straight across their body. With all these motions, one way we like to practice is in front of a mirror. It's a good way for them to watch themselves, and that way they can improve and fix themselves on their own. Another good thing to know as a coach is when you're helping somebody with their motion placement, if they're doing a T, for instance, and their arms are too high, rather than bring them down yourself, they're going to forget and it's going to go right back up the next time. Stand in front of them and say, hey, lower your arms down a little bit, and that way they get some muscle memory and learn how to do it on their own. The next thing we're going to go over are a couple motion drills. We've got one for synchronization and one for placement. The first one is for synchronization. We call it the 8-count drill. And what we're going to do, we're going to teach the cheerleaders an 8-count of motions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to count it out. And I can count fast or I count slow. The key is that they really hold their motion until I say the count. That way we can really work on the synchronization as a team. For example, here's one we made up before. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you can see, we can really work on fixing their synchronization this way. We can go faster, we can go slow. Another drill that we have for placement is going to be the line drill. What we're going to do is we're going to line the cheerleaders up in line, and we're going to make sure they do the motions that match, and that way that each motion looks the same. For instance, we ask them to do a high V, and you look down the line and you'd hope that their motions match up like these girls do. If they were off, for instance, what you'd be able to do is adjust each motion that way that you have the same motions all the way down the line and you'd be able to fix it. This is a good way to fix their placement and fix the placement of the whole team. You can line up as many girls as you want. Another thing we do to help placement and synchronization at the same time is combine the two drills. And what we'll do is actually line them up and make them do the 8-count drill in a line, and that way we can watch both at the same time. For example, here you go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.